Singapore is one of those places where reactions are extreme. People either absolutely love it here or they cannot wait to leave. And what's interesting is most of the time it's because of the exact same reasons. Reason number one is structure. Some people just love this feeling of knowing what's allowed, everything is on time, the efficiency, how everything works, and that everything works. And it also gives like a safe feeling because behavior and everything is predictable. But for some people it's the opposite. When there are too many structures and rules, they just don't enjoy it. They like the chaos more, and when life is a little bit more unpredictable, or maybe they also are afraid that they do something wrong because people are judging them or watching them. And some of the rules here are strict, so it's not for everybody. If structure calms you, you'll love Singapore. But if freedom comes from chaos for you, you probably won't. Reason number two is efficiency and pace. Singapore is really efficient. Everything works, everything is on time, public transport, services, bureaucracy, everything works really smoothly. But on the other hand, it can feel like everything is predictable, and like when you wanna slow down a bit, it kind of feels wrong. So either you love that everything is like structured and you know exactly what to expect, or you kinda, again, live more from chaos and where you like it to live also like a more slowed down life. Because I feel like if you just want to lay on the beach and relax, Singapore is not the place for you. I mean, there are beaches, but also there are better places to go, like Bali, where you can relax a little bit more. Singapore is more like this evolving, growing city that is growing so fast, and every week you see like a new construction site, there's new buildings on the horizon, so it's really evolving really fast. And some people do like that when it comes more to the future part and you kind of feel like it's growing and you can evolve, but other people like it more a little bit slow down. Some people might feel rushed. Reason number three is comfort versus intensity, or like the mental load. Singapore is really comfortable. You have aircon here, everything is so clean, it's safe, everything works out so smoothly. You can deliver your food and they place it in front of your door from your apartment, which is honestly amazing for lazy people like me. Like, there are so many advantages to this, but for some people it can feel mentally intense because the standards are so high for work, the looks, like your body, and also behavior. Like when you're in public, you don't want to do anything to offend anyone, to annoy anyone, to be disrespectful. And while you have like a really comfortable life, it can also feel like a lot. Like you always kind of have to be on your best behavior when you're outside. I felt that in the beginning. I was so afraid of making something wrong or be disrespectful because I didn't know all the rules or like social structures and everything. So it can feel quite intense. But on the other hand, you have like really luxurious living where you have Singapore really offers you a lot. But again, it's like depending on which one is more important to you, Singapore might or might not be the place for you. Social life. Making friends in Singapore can be difficult, not impossible, but it's different. People are busy, they have routines, and social circles can be very fixed. So I feel like it's really difficult to really get to know Singaporeans. So you can feel quite lonely, or that you cannot dive really into the culture or whatever it is. But on the other side, Singaporeans are really friendly. They are so respectful, and when you get to know them, they open up. I feel like Singaporeans, the one I've met or from what I experienced, they are a bit more maybe shy, maybe a little bit more introverted, but I also feel like it comes with this culture of respect, and people don't want to like annoy you or be disrespectful. So if you just give them a chance and get to know them, they are lovely people and they are really friendly and accommodating, and honestly you will have such a good time with them. Sometimes it just maybe takes a while for them to open up. When you're a really outgoing, extroverted person and you work in a Singaporean office, it can be really difficult to find your place because Singaporeans are more like quiet, they don't really say anything to their boss. Meanwhile, in other cultures, it's appreciated when you do that, and it's appreciated when you talk about your own ideas and everything. But in Singapore, it's just different. So I feel like it's more like slowed down or like laid back, and they're more like quieter. So when you're like a really bubbly person, it can be quite difficult to find like your place in your work environment, but also it just depends on if you can handle it, if you don't, or what type of person you are. But when you're an introverted person and you're also shy, you might actually really enjoy it because you don't feel the pressure of going out, meeting people, talking to people if you don't wanna. So, depending on your persona. One really important reason is money and value. Yes, Singapore is expensive. You can pay a lot for accommodation and privacy, but not for convenience. And of course, if you earn well, then life here is amazing and if it's really easy and smooth. If you love luxurious places, Singapore is definitely the place for it. You can have so many luxurious things here. And Singapore itself, I feel like, is so luxurious, like with all the buildings and everything they offer, etc. If you love that and if you don't mind spending a little bit more money in comparison to like other Southeast Asian countries, then Singapore is the place for you to be. But if you're more on the lower budget, then it can be more difficult. You still can eat really cheap, drink really cheap, live really cheap, but it's just like maybe you don't have the most luxurious living situation then. So I would say to live comfortable here, you need a certain amount of money per month, but also you can just look for a while and figure it out and you find really affordable options. But depending on what you want and what you need and how much money you have or willing to spend, yeah, Singapore might or might not be the place for you. Another thing is the work culture. Singaporeans are really career focused and they work hard and they hustle and they are really ambitious. Also, I feel like they have like clear goals and kind of like measurable progress. And if you thrive in this kind of environment, then perfect, come to Singapore. But if you feel like your job is not that important for you or the career, to climb up the career ladder, you're not as ambitious, it can feel like a lot of pressure. And you might feel like, I don't know, like lazy or that it's not for you, you know? For some people it's not that important, their job. Like they just want to earn enough money to get by and to live a comfortable life, and others, they want different things. And nothing is wrong with either, but it's just like depending on you, it can be a little bit harder in Singapore or you will thrive. Let me know in the comments if you're more like the type of person that likes structure and efficiency, pace and ambitious work environment, or are you more the type of person that thrives from chaos and is a little bit more adventurous and don't like things to be too predictable? Let me know. So I hope you have a good one. See you in the next video. Bye.